Techniques most frequently used by attackers. Customized phishing attacks are on the rise. Phishing attacks have not only increased in volume between the first and the second quarter, but have also become more advanced, with campaigns becoming more customized to target users through the utilization of captcha and web certificate data. Websites like Spotify and DocuSign were among the many used to draw in users. Development of new attack trends like email threats were found to have increased throughout the first half of 2021, with 2.9 billion quarantined through June. URL and text-based attacks rose consistently throughout the first half of the year, while email-based attacks decreased in the first 5 months before sharply increasing in June. Business email compromise attacks became the number one used tactic. Overall, the report found businesses to be most vulnerable and sought after by attackers. Hackers have been found to monitor conversations from inside a compromised account before sending more customized messages in an attempt to steal financial information or credentials. A report on August 19th this year says that someone attempted to launch one of the largest distributed denial of service or DDoS attack on record to take down a financial website, according to Cloudflare, an internet infrastructure provider. The attack involved generating a flood of internet traffic with HTTP browser-based requests. At its peak, the bombardment reached 17.2 million requests per second. For perspective on how large the stack was, Cloudflare saves over 25 million HTTP requests per second on average, the company wrote in a blog post on Thursday. So peaking at 17.2 million RPS, this attack reached 68% of our second quarterly average RPS rate of legitimate HTTP traffic. Military-grade spyware licensed by an Israeli firm was used in attempted and successful hacks of smartphones belonging to journalists and human rights activists, according to an investigation by Washington Post and 16 media partners. In all, 37 phones, including those belonging to two women close to the murdered Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi, were attacked with spyware licensed by the Israeli firm NSO Group to governments for tracking terrorists and criminals. The investigation found the phones were included on a list of more than 50,000 numbers concentrated in countries known to conduct surveillance of citizens. The list was shared with news organizations by Forbidden Stories, a Paris-based journalism, non-profit and human rights group Amnesty International. The investigation, called the Pegasus Project, included a forensic analysis of the phones. The numbers on the list are unattributed, but investigators were able to identify more than 1,000 across more than 50 countries. The Pegasus Project lays bare how NSO spyware is a weapon of choice for repressive governments seeking to silence journalists, attack activists, and crush dissent, placing countless lives in peril. Agnes Talmud, a Secretary General of Amnesty International, said in a statement, while the company claims its spyware is only used for legitimate criminal and terror investigations, it's clear its technology facilitates systematic abuse. Amnesty International analyzed 67 phones that were suspected attack targets, 23 of which were found to be successfully infected and 14 showed evidence of attempted penetration, according to the investigation. The list, which dates back to 2016, includes reporters working overseas for several leading news organizations, including a small number from CNN, the Associated Press, Voice of America, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg News, Le Monde in France, the Financial Times in London, and Al Jazeera in Qatar. Heads of state and prime ministers who also reported on the list. NSO Group said that the Forbidden Stories report contained false accusations with misleading accusations. The report by Forbidden Stories is full of wrong assumptions and uncorroborated theories that raise serious doubts about the reliability and interests of sources, an NSO Group spokesperson said in a statement. It seems like the unidentified sources have supplied information that has no factual basis and are far from reality. NSO Group has been implicated by previous reports and lawsuits and other hacks, including a report hack of former Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos. A Saudi dissident sued the company in 2018 for its alleged role in hacking a device belonging to journalist Khashoggi, who had been murdered inside the Saudi embassy in Turkey that year. Journalists and activists from Mexico and Qatar have also sued the company for providing tools that hacked their devices. A Citizen Lab report from January said in New York Times, journalists writing about a Saudi dissident received a link containing an NSO Group hacking tool on this firm in 2018. Role of artificial intelligence and cyber-defense threat intelligence in military defense industrial complex. Future projection analysis based on current trends by easytechforall.net. The world's largest industry is the military industrial complex. Pacifism and peace, undoubtedly being the most desired outcome of any diplomacy, still continue to elude humanity. The world is becoming heavily militarized after the advent of smart technologies. Regional conflicts for scarce resources are erupting at a rapid pace. World War III may not be a distant dream now. Medical practitioners and AI cyber defense threat intelligence professions can cast the most significant impact on the military-industrial complex. Medical practitioners play an important role during full-scale military kinetic war and conflagration. Microbiologists and virologists play an important role in biowarfare. As far as AI engineers are concerned, all smart defense systems have huge potential for innovation. Facial and object recognition to missile aircraft smart navigation systems. AI impacts everywhere. Military robotics by DARPA and Boston Dynamics is a popular example. Combat drones are the smartest weapons in the military arsenal that determine the outcome of most battles today. They are low-cost AI flying machines when compared to fifth-generation fighter aircrafts. Elon Musk recently said that the era of fighter jets has passed. The future belongs to combat drones, and if you thought that Hollywood's Iron Man was a figment of imagination, think again, because you haven't seen the Royal Marines yet. Sci-fi Hollywood and the gaming industry is nothing but future projection and analysis. AI is the new nuclear. Anti-aircraft weapons and smart missiles fly like airplanes, rely on AI systems. Edge computing is also a game changer in this domain on smart weapons. Finally, cyber defense threat intelligence plays an undeniable role in full-spectrum military cyberspace operations. Cyber is the fifth war domain after land, air, sea, and space. But cyber alone affects all the other domains. Today, cyber attacks can be as deadly as military kinetic operations. Precisely why NATO has brought Article 5 on the table for any advanced, persistent threat action on allied nations, meaning that NATO will consider a cyber attack on any ally as an attack on all and respond with military kinetic force on the adversary. Defending the military, energy, aviation, hospital, government, and nuclear critical infrastructure is of great importance today.